Hi everyone, welcome to week 4. This week we're going to continue in module 2 and focus on UDL and the myth of learning styles. Hopefully by now you've seen that learning styles is a myth, and though it's really ingrained in our culture, there isn't much science to back it up. It kind of pigeonholes our students into one type of learning, whereas UDL supports our different students to learn in so many different ways. It allows us to give them multiple means of representation, multiple means of action and expression. It allows us as educators to disseminate our knowledge in different ways to our diverse learners, as well as receive assignments in different ways and in their preferred method. And hopefully you'll see throughout your UDL assignment and throughout this module that there are so many different avenues that we can take to support our diverse learners. So, in this week, I want you to read your assigned readings and complete your UDL assignment. And we're going to go over that right now. Let's go into module 2. So this is module 2. You'll read your module 2, watch your module 2 introduction if you haven't done that already. And then on the bottom, there's a really nice folder with a bunch of UDL podcasts, and there's one on assessments that's really helpful, as well as a bunch of videos and a couple of articles as well. And then there's a folder on the bottom that's called Universal Design for Learning Assignment. Within this assignment folder, you'll see that the top is a choice board. Choice boards originated in elementary schools, and as all good things do. And they found that elementary school students did best when they had a choice in how to submit their assignments, and it really supported their learning needs. And then it made its way to secondary schools and high schools, and now we're using it in master's level courses. So, for this assignment, you have the option to submit it as a paper, 3 to 5 pages, not including the cover page or the references, an infographic, a PowerPoint or Prezi, or a video supporting a PowerPoint or Prezi. Just make sure for your infographic or your video that you incorporate all of the parts of the rubric. There is an assignment directions and rubric here, which we'll go into in this video, as well as video directions here. There's a transcript, as well as a nice little handout, and again, the directions and rubric over here. Another nice fun ways to complete the assignment. If you want to use infographics, there's different ways with free versions, Canva, PictoChart, and a couple of examples over here. And then PowerPoint and Prezi, there's a free version of Prezi that you could sign up for. And then video options, all of these are free that you can use to do your voiceovers. In case you want to see some examples, there's a paper example from a previous student, as well as a PowerPoint example. And then when you're ready to submit, here's a submit button. You can submit in this class as many times as you'd like until the due date, and I will grade the last one. So going into our rubric, so going to our rubric, your guidelines for this assignment, you're going to analyze current nursing education practices and then apply UDL to a nursing education topic. I would suggest you use a topic that you feel comfortable with, whether that's wound care, whether that's central line management, Foley care. Pick anything in your current practice that you feel comfortable with, and it doesn't have to be a very specific topic, just something overall, NG tube care, or placement. And then create a very brief lesson plan with 2 to 3 clear goals. If you know what Bloom's taxonomy is, then you can use that and create learning objectives. But if not, you just want to describe what you want your learners to know or do by the end of your lesson plan. So for example, if I was doing central line management, for example, I would want my learners to know how to change a central line dressing by the end of the lesson. And then I create a very brief topical outline of what I plan to teach. With 3 teaching strategies, and the most important part of this is really the teaching strategies with the UDL principles, as well as the assessment methods. So what are you teaching them, and how are you incorporating UDL? And then what assessment methods, how are you knowing that your learners are understanding your material? And are you incorporating technology? Are you using simulation? Are you doing a Kahoot game? Are you doing a quiz? So there are many options here, so definitely think about how you can incorporate UDL, and then reflect. How can UDL improve student outcomes in nursing education? And then discuss some of the potential challenges. And here you want to use your scholarly references because you're going to need a minimum of 5 scholarly references, no older than 5 years old. So please don't forget to use those. And then you'll see here that you have grading criteria and the rubric that you can see exactly how grading goes. So if you have any questions or concerns throughout the week about the lesson plan, about your topic, about multimedia use, please reach out. I'm really looking forward to seeing all of your UDL assignments, and I hope you all have a great week.